ever walked into a meeting and immediately noticed someone who seemed to command the room? They weren't necessarily the loudest person. They weren't always the highest ranking person. But when they spoke, people listened. Why? Was it confidence, experience, their title, or was it something deeper? Today, we're talking about one of the most misunderstood leadership skills, executive presence. Welcome back to Reset and Rise, where we help emerging and aspiring leaders become the leader they wish they had. I'm Shirrell Meeks. When people hear the words executive presence, they often think about appearance, confidence, or public speaking. Those things may play a role, but executive presence isn't about looking important. It's about creating confidence in others. It's the ability to communicate in a way that makes people believe you can be trusted with greater responsibilities. The good news is, it's a skill every one of us can develop. Executive presence is remaining calm under pressure, communicating with clarity, listening with intention, asking thoughtful questions, speaking with purpose, following through consistently. It's less about impressing people and more about helping people feel confident in you. Your voice matters. Early in my career, I struggled with speaking up in meetings, especially large town hall and executive meetings. Leadership would present a new strategy or talk about where the organization was headed, and I would have questions. But instead of raising my hand, I'll sit there wondering, is this a good question? Am I missing something everyone else already knows? What if everyone thinks this is a silly question? So I stayed quiet. Then almost every time, someone else would ask the exact question I had been thinking. The executive would smile and say, "That's a great question." And they would spend several minutes answering it. I remember leaving those meetings disappointed in myself because I had missed a great opportunity. After this happened several times, I made a decision. The next time I had a thoughtful question, I was going to ask it. The first time I spoke up, the executive smiled and said, "That's an excellent question." I remember thinking nothing about my question had changed. The only thing that changed was my willingness to speak. Years later, I realized something even more important. Thought confidence created credibility. But looking back now, I realized credibility had already been there. My confidence simply hadn't caught up yet. I also realized something else. I wasn't the person who talked the most in the meetings. But when I did speak, people listened, not because of my title, but because over time I had built trust. Executive presence wasn't something I suddenly developed. It had been quietly growing through every relationship, every commitment I kept, and every opportunity to contribute. I just hadn't recognized it yet. Here are 6 habits that builds executive presence. Prepare before every meeting. Listen more than you speak. Ask thoughtful questions. Stay calm during uncertainty. Speak with clarity. Always follow through. Now, here's what destroys executive presence: interrupting others, reacting emotionally, over-explaining, speaking without preparation, making excuses, failing to follow through. Executive presence isn't usually lost in one dramatic moment. It's weakened through small, repeated behaviors. Here's a challenge for you. During your next meeting, don't focus on saying more. Focus on adding value. Prepare one thoughtful question or share one meaningful insight. Watch how people respond. Here's one thought I'd like you to carry into this week. Executive presence isn't about having the loudest voice in the room. It's about becoming someone whose voice people trust. Every conversation, every meeting, every promise you keep is shaping the leader people experience. Long before you receive your next promotion, executive presence isn't built overnight. It's built one conversation, one decision, one relationship, and one act of integrity at a time. So if today's episode encouraged you, I'd love for you to subscribe, share it with another inspiring leader, and join us next week for another conversation designed to help you grow. Until next time, keep resetting your mindset, keep rising above challenges, and never stop becoming the leaders others are hoping to follow.